Hello, I'm Lucille from SuperWellness, and today I have Angela Steele with me. So Angela
Hi.
is our founder and CEO. Hi, Angela.
Right.
Hi. So
Nice to
I
be here,
asked,
Lucy.
oh, great, thanks, Angela. I asked you to join me today, just for you to tell us a little bit about the model of behavioral change that underpins the program.
Sure. Yeah, I think, for me, it was a revelation really when I came across the model of behavioural change that we currently use on our programs. So it's called the trans-theoretical model of change, and it's based on 6 stages. So it's the premise that every one of us goes through 6 different stages when we're making a lifestyle change. So if you're giving up smoking, for example, people who try to give up smoking, they might try several times and they keep failing, they keep going back to smoking. There's a really good reason for that. And actually, this model really explains how we go from one stage to the next, and that failing and falling off the wagon is a natural part of any process of change.
So yes, so that actually, when I've been involved in groups before, we've we've kind of really introduced the idea to them is that everyone is on a different journey. So some
Exactly.
might have come on, joined the program and have already put some fantastic changes in place. They just need that kind of, confirmed and finding ways to maintain that. Then you have others that have identified they need to change their health, but they don't quite know where to start. So the program really just gives them a safe space to be able to identify the changes and actually put the work into to figure out how they're going to make those changes,
Exactly.
rather than us standing there telling them
Yeah.
what to do.
Exactly. I think that approach is really important as well, where it's focused more on coaching people and guiding people to come to their own solutions rather than giving recommendations or advice. I think it's been shown that people are not really motivated by guidelines. People want to reach their own conclusions, and we provide them with the knowledge and, eye-opening information, but then it's their choice ultimately. And I think that's a lot more motivating for people.
So where do you see kind of, goal setting and accountability? How do you see this playing a role in the program?
Yeah, I think both of those are really important elements of the program, and they really tie in with the coaching aspects. So goal setting doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone is motivated by goals, but they can be really effective. So I think the best types of goals are what we call SMART goals, ones that are really specific and measurable, things around behaviour. So if I set a goal to go for a walk every lunchtime, that's a really measurable goal that's sort of easy to monitor. And that can be really effective for people. And then accountability, I think having that, knowing that you've got someone that you're going to report back to, whether it's one of us, on running a program, or a buddy, perhaps a colleague who you buddy up with. That can be really motivating, really encouraging.
Yes, I mean, on that note, really, when you're speaking about kind of the buddy system and kind of, is it just that I need to get out for a walk every day? When we had a group down in Wales, and that was really great. The whole office went out at lunchtime.
Yes, I remember that.
There's a perfect example of that kind of buddy system where they're keeping each other going and motivating
Exactly.
each other.
Yeah. I think that's a really important aspect of our programs as well, that we actually feel that group coaching is very special and very advantageous, because you've got that ability for people to bounce off one another. I think it's good to support one another in positive things, but also if you're going through challenges, you're really struggling, then hearing other people going through the same thing just makes people feel better.
I mean, one of the things that we we always said in the group was no question is a stupid question or a silly question, because the chances are of you thinking it, someone else in the group is thinking it as well. And then there might even be someone in the group who's had the same challenge, you know, and have some ideas of how to overcome it. So
yeah, and I think it really is important to create that safe environment, that safe space where people really we all tend to beat ourselves up, you know, when it comes to feeling like we're not eating the right things, drinking the right things, exercising enough. So I think, you know, and that's actually what puts people off the right track, you know, eventually. So I think it's really important to have that supportive environment that allows people to, you know, sometimes maybe some days, you know, have bad days, but then feel good enough that they want to get back on track.
Absolutely. And I think we've spoken previously about that kind of like failure is actually part of the journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one of the stages on the behaviour change model that we use. And that's what really resonated with me, you know, being an ex-smoker. I remember trying to give up smoking many times and beating myself up because I didn't understand why I couldn't give up smoking. But actually every time I failed, I learned that was actually moving me further along that change process.
Yeah,
I was actually becoming more ready to really give up for good. So
great. Okay. And then finally, where do you see you know, what this actually means for employers, and how is this applied in the workplace setting?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, with the programs, it's a slightly different approach. I think it's a real opportunity for employers to look at making a real difference, you know, and actually supporting employees to make lasting change that's really going to be measurable, that's going to have an impact, you know, which is harder to achieve perhaps through single activities or single webinars. You know, you don't have that framework which really leads people, you know, along those 6 stages. So I think certainly for employers who, you know, really want to make a difference, then it's it's an interesting option to look at programs and taking that approach.
Yeah, and I mean, and in a previous one of the previous videos, I spoke about how measurable, you know, the results that we receive, how you can measure them, and what that means for the organization as well.
Yeah, exactly. Which, you know, I suppose in business, you know, measurement and accountability, you know, on results is a really important aspect. So, you know, that ties in perfectly.
All right. Well, Angela, that's it for today. So thanks for coming on with me. It's always nice sharing the screen time with someone else.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And to any of you that are watching, if this is, you know, really kind of piqued your interest and you think that, you know, we might be able to help your organization, please do get in touch with us either via our website or you can message us on social media. Thank you.
Thank you.